What is going every week? Back at it again. You feel me? Another reaction. Lonk's takes. You feel me? I like his takes. No pun intended. I posted. I don't know if I seen this thumbnail. You feel me? Or I missed it, and I don't know how I missed because this video is 2 weeks old. You know what I'm saying? Goku vs Superman. The final answer. I don't know if I don't know how I missed this one. You know, but better late than never. Also, I am going to be live. Probably when this is out on YouTube. You feel me? Streaming Grounded 2, and I might play some other things too, but it's definitely Grounded 2 because that shit come out tomorrow. I'm recording this Monday, but it comes out tomorrow. Early access type shit. But anyway, yeah. Goku Superman. The never ending debate. Always a fun debate. You feel me? You know, we might get, you know. Wait, we already got 2 fights, huh? Yeah, we already got 2 fights with Goku. Yeah, second fight. Yeah. Shit, we might get a third one. You never know with Death Battle. We might get a third one. It's some crazier shit happened with Goku. If the manga will ever come back, we probably would get some crazier shit with Goku. But you know what? You know, Toei with the bullshit. Yeah, that situation. You know, in that legal battle, it's like crazy. Like imagine seeing Ultra Ego in Dokkan. You feel me? LR. Or seeing that nigga in Legends. You know what I'm saying? Ultra. Or LF. You feel me? Like imagine that. You know what I'm saying? Seeing Granola. Imagine that. I'm tired of seeing the same niggas, bro. They keep rinsing and repeating the same shit, bro. That's all right. It's time to put out new content, bro. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm yapping. Hit the video up there, like, man. Comment down below. Subscribe with the 3K. Not subscribe, man. Fight on Patreon, Twitter, the tell the description down below. Subscribe to Lonks. He recently hit 70K. Let's get him to 80. You feel me? But anyway, without further ado, let the eyeball on this.
If you've only gotten into power scaling recently or simply weren't on the internet 10+ years ago, it's kind of hard.
Damn. That been out. Damn. Yeah, cause you know, I think, you know, regardless of the, you know, the problems the nigga had, Seth, one of the niggas, you know what I'm saying, who started this shit. You know what I'm saying, with some other niggas, Swag, Clyde, Chuck, and some other people too. Damn, 10 years ago? But it's a fun, interesting topic though. It really is. It really is. But anyway, damn. 2015? Damn. That makes sense though. That makes sense.
Hard to describe how absolutely omnipresent the debate of Goku versus Superman used to be. From death battles to epic rap battles and animations, it was the go-to power scaling debate. Yeah. And even from the very beginning, represented more than...
And you know what's crazy? Back in the day, people always used to say Goku. You know what I mean? For obvious reasons, because when you compare Goku to like Superman from the animated stuff, right? You will say Goku. You know what I mean? Because people, even me back in the kids and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? People didn't read comics. You know what I'm saying? That. You know what I'm saying? We had the DC animated show and we had Dragon Ball Z type shit. You feel me? And yeah, people always, that's why back in the day people said Goku, because people didn't read the comics. Like the kids and back in the day and whatnot, teenagers and whatnot, they didn't really read the comics. You know what I'm saying? Probably know that shit even existed. Probably. I don't think I know I didn't as a kid. I ain't know what was a comic. I don't think damn, did I? My friends would talk about that shit. I don't think I did. Goku vs Superman. Yeah, I don't think I did, low key. That's crazy. That is crazy to even say that. Granted, I didn't know what the fuck a manga was either, though, so to be fair, so yeah, at the time, so that's it. Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
2 characters fighting, but was about all of
peak
anime
East and the West, bro.
Comics.
Peak, man.
However, for a while, this debate started to fizzle out as more debates and characters began to become popular.
About that
since
nigga, bro.
the early 2010s, Goku and Superman have gotten massively
stronger
baby girl. And are stronger than they have ever been. Despite being a power scaling channel with a focus on Dragon Ball, I've never actually talked about or shared my opinion on this topic. So this week with James Gunn's Superman.
Oof, that movie. I ain't watched it yet, but I already know. I'm gonna be like, oh, that was cool. But I think it's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be a movie that like I'm like, this shit could have been better type shit. How it was for the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts pissed me off. Oh my god! Like how we get Sentry, and this what we got. And the thing is, we never thought we would see Sentry in the MCU, but he's in the biz now, and this is what we get. That's tough. This show, I like the art style for this show. Keep it a stack. But like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be cooler than this, than what the fuck they doing with it. I ain't gonna cap.
Talked about or shared my opinion on
That's a cooler watch. I do fuck with that opening. That little opening theme with the guitar, that shit hit. That's a little vibe. No cap. I must say that too. It's cool for what it is. You know what I mean? In my opinion, it's just, yeah, I could watch it. I could watch it just to buy it. You know what I'm saying? But this could be so much better than what it is, bro. I do fuck with our style. My bad, hot take though.
This week, with James Gunn's Superman coming out, I can't think of a more perfect opportunity to give my most honest analysis of who.
But I heard niggas fucking with Fantastic Four. Thank God. When I saw Tyrone Magnus video, and I did not hear Stone Cold Steve Austin. I was like, ain't no way, and I'm waiting for the bit, bro, because I think he did that for a different movie review. I don't know if it was Superman or something different. I know I seen the one for Superman though. That the Stone Cold shit he did for that one. But yeah, the fact that I'm like Tyrone like that shit. I'm like I've seen other niggas Snarky J. I've seen Critical Drinker. I'm like, hold on, Fantastic Four, hold on, because I was like, oh my god, because niggas was putting out fucking rumors and reports about shit that's gonna be in that movie and it wasn't. I'm like, well, then why would you say the shit? It was not gonna be in the movie. It's like that's sabotaging the movie and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like what? You know what I mean? But now now the movie is legit good because people saying it good. I trust them. I trust them niggas' opinions. Because you know what I'm saying I shit align. You know what I'm saying? And the movie still flops. That's on Marvel. Y'all made the bed. Y'all made type shit. So yeah, Superman. Oh my god, there's still time. I have not seen the movie because I seen like I ain't been watching none of the trailers too for this movie either, low key, because I've been like, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to be spoiled, you know. But sometimes niggas just over what's gonna call it, advertise for the shit. It's like, bro, stop showing shit. Damn.
Between the strongest Saiyan of anime and the most powerful Kryptonian of comics, Goku versus Superman. If you like this kind of stuff, make sure to like, subscribe, and let's jump right into something special. Now for this video, I will be using the most recent and up-to-date canonical versions of Goku and Superman. So that means the anime/manga version of Goku from Dragon Ball Super and the current post-rebirth version of Superman from DC Comics. For this video, I'll be going over their power progression, feats, and relevant cosmology to give you the best overall picture of
bring me back Justice League Unlimited,
just
bro.
Know that due to how much Goku and Superman content there is out there are plenty of other ways to scale them. With all of that understood, let's begin with the Man of Steel himself, Superman. Now, for the longest time, scaling Superman was an
this fight, I don't know what team was on this fight, bro, but bang them niggas back. Them niggas was doing this shit like the rank was doing, bro. The fight between this nigga and Conrad was lit. This shit between this, bro. This shit was lit, bro. This whole shit at this forum was lit, bro. Oh my god, cinema.
Absolute mess due to the constantly changing continuity
and
cosmology of DC Comics. Superman the character had been rebooted multiple times between Golden, Silver Age, Crisis Events, and New 52. Each time becoming a technically brand new character with his own independent scaling.
And now we're on the absolute Superman. I need to stop pausing this damn video. God damn it. Now we're on absolute stuff. I gotta watch some videos by Variant Comics. I ain't been watching them because I want the hoes to pile up so I can start, you know what I'm saying, probably make some videos on them hoes. But yeah.
As strong as previous incarnations. So, for example, a feat of Superman breaking through the limits of infinity in an old comic did not necessarily scale to the current Superman because they were literally different guys. However, due to recent changes in DC Comics, this is no longer an issue. You see, the event Dark Knight's Death Metal was a soft reboot of DC, establishing parts of the cosmology that had formerly been removed, but more importantly, combined all memories and experiences of characters from all previous incarnations into their present versions. In other words, this Superman, at least mentally and experience-wise, is literally every single mainline Superman that has ever come before. Now, this wouldn't necessarily correlate to power, except for the fact that this brand new reborn Superman has repeatedly stated that his mind and body are both stronger than they have ever been before, and things like distance, matter, and space-time are mostly meaningless.
I think I seen this. I forgot what video I seen this on, but I think I seen this.
To
I'm
him,
like,
meaning
what the
that his
fuck?
Superman, if it wasn't obvious, scales to literally any other feat that a mainline Superman has ever done that you've ever heard of. Lifting the
Mm-hmm.
Book of Infinite Pages,
Mm-hmm.
sneezing away a solar system,
Crazy
flying
work.
through time,
Crazy
all of
work.
these feats would be surpassed even casually by the current day Superman. From this long history, Superman is consistently depicted at the bare minimum universal.
That's
There have been numerous feats
embarrassing.
across Superman's history of tanking explicitly universal attacks, beating universe busters, literal universes, or Superman himself threatening to destroy entire space-time continuums with his own power. I say consistently
Crazy.
because, like any comic book character, Superman has showings and feats that are either
Boy,
drastically
Doomsday was dog
exceeding
walking them
or
niggas, boy.
substantially less impressive than those feats.
It's crazy because Darkseid didn't do this shit to them niggas, bro. You think Darkseid would do this to these niggas, bro? Doomsday was dog walking these niggas in this shit, bro. I missed this animated shit, bro. The movie shit. I missed that shit, bro. Oh my god.
However, over the years, we've been given a multitude of explanations
Ew, what the
as to
fuck
why
is that?
Superman's
Ew.
strength may
Ew, kill it.
vary. Sometimes
Ew.
it's just that he's holding back. Other times it's because he's not in the proper mental state to harness his abilities, and other times he's simply not experiencing enough stress, which allows him to absorb even more solar energy and make himself stronger.
Oh wow.
Therefore, any Superman feat that caps him below Universal was Clark just not being locked in enough. And
True.
again, either way, current
True,
Superman
true.
would necessarily scale above those feats. Frankly though, if Superman was only a universe buster, I wouldn't be making this video. There
Damn.
are a multitude of feats and showings that get Kal-El far higher. Now, I could spend literal hours going over every single possible feat for Superman over the
That's
last
cool.
80 years of history, but instead I'm going to focus on a couple of feats and statements Superman has gone
Nigga,
in
troll,
the past
bro.
couple of years or so, starting with the Phantom Zone.
Mm.
Now, the Phantom Zone, as you may know, is usually used as a prison outside of reality where Superman or other characters can send
Lock that
threats
nigga
that
up.
can't be contained anywhere else. But it's actually far more impressive than that. To make an incredibly convoluted, constantly changing, and evolving cosmology as simple as possible, this is the map of the DC multiverse that is still being pretty consistently followed and literally
And I
shown in recent
still
comics.
can't understand
The
that
big
shit.
circle in the middle is the entire DC multiverse made
I still can't understand this goddamn map, bro. No times I see this damn picture, bro, I still can't read this bitch. Oh, there go Apocalypse. Underworld, Heaven, okay. New Genesis, Skyland, Hell. I think New Genesis is with the New Gods. I think that's where they at, huh? Yeah, I think that's where they at. We got Heaven, Skyland. What the fuck was Skyland? I forgot. The Bleed. What the fuck? What order? Okay.
of physical matter as we understand it.
Anyway.
While it does say there are 52 universes there, it's been further expanded upon that there are indeed an infinite number, and that these 52 specifically are just connected via a vibrational frequency as a quote-unquote local multiverse. As stated by writers both in and out of comics, each and every one of these universes are made up of an infinite amount of higher and lower spatial dimensions, which are not to be confused with alternate universes. All of these places are below the next level of the cosmology, which is the God Sphere, with numerous places within the God Sphere being stated to be beyond the bounds of space, time, and the concept of place entirely. It is here where the negative zone resides, having its own statements that it is infinite, endless, boundless, without dimensions, timeless, and distanceless. Superman in older comics was already able
all the
to
buzzwords.
power characters like Dominus, who could make his own Phantom Zone. And more recently, Superman outright shakes the Phantom Zone and states that he could destroy the entire Phantom Zone if he wanted to, but ultimately chooses against it. In other words, Superman can already destroy spaces
We need that shit,
are limitless
low-key.
and beyond the limitations of an infinite dimensional structure. But if we like, we can go even further. Looking back to the cosmology map again, you can see at the very furthest boundaries that there is a white void called the Source, which is separated from reality by something known as the Source Wall. The Source is one of the highest powers of creation in DC, being beyond everything we've already talked about. Once again, being boundless, with the Source Wall itself already being beyond every prior mentioned reality and dimension existing before all of it, which would again include the Phantom Zone. This is important because Superman in various contexts has fought, beaten or overpowered characters empowered by the Source or something similar.
Mink.
He's beaten Metallo while powered by a Source-fueled Mother Box, punched a Brainiac who had literally traveled beyond the Source, has fought and beaten multiple characters powered by the anti-life equation, which is literally the yin to the yang of the Source, and has affected the Source Wall in and of itself on multiple occasions.
Crazy.
Now, I can keep going, bringing up other aspects of the cosmology like hypertime.
Bro, bring this show back, bro. I'm tired of Warner Brothers with the bullshit, bro. I'm tired of these niggas, bro. There's so much money on the table, bro, and they do dumb shit. I remember they teased us season 6 for Teen Titans. And that was years ago. We ain't see that shit yet.
Or talk about Superman's more specific fights against characters like the New Gods, or showings against beings like the World Forger, or talk about feats of other DC characters that have their own scaling that should all be inferior to Superman.
Sure, okay.
It gets to a point where it becomes repetitive. Hopefully, from everything I've said, I've painted a pretty clear picture of what Superman is truly capable of. If you like Superman, let me know any of his crazy feats or scales that I missed and tell me how strong you think he is. Still, the main...
Don't get me wrong. I love the nigga, but the first time I see him get put on his ass, I'm clapping. That's just me though. See, like right now, I don't want a nigga to die, but I want to get his ass beat though.
Man of Steel isn't invincible, so can he be Goku?
He didn't give a damn though. Oh, he can.
How can I possibly talk about Son Goku? Despite being a manga character that only has one original text to draw from, in modern times, talking about the power of Goku is nearly as complicated as talking about Superman. Do you mean manga or anime Goku? The anime with or without filler? Does that include the movies? Is that both the Super and Z movies?
Yeah.
What about the video games?
What about Hero? Yeah, Xenoverse Heroes. Yeah, that's ignorant shit.
Literally this week, as I was writing this video, Toyotaro, the illustrator and part writer of the Dragon Ball Super manga, stated that he likes to think that everything official is more or less canon, but that even he isn't the one who decides what is canon to Dragon Ball, and that fans should decide for themselves what is or isn't canon. He even brings up Dragon Ball Online, something made way before Dragon Ball Super, that contradicts pretty much every other series, as something that he personally thinks is canon to himself. So overall, don't think too hard about it. For this video,
I still never played that. I played it, but I never got really into it. I never got to be an adult. I never got Super Saiyan unlocked. None of that shit.
I'm going to be sticking to the things that at some point have been referred to as part of some sort of official history or original work, which would be the Z into Super continuity of both the anime and manga. So no movies, GT, Daima, or video game scaling, with only the latter having any scaling that's better than Super anyways. With that being said, let's begin. Of all manga and anime, one of the best things about Dragon Ball is how relatively stable and progressive the power scaling is between arcs. Long before the era of Versus Battle Wiki Tears, Toriyama was pretty clearly escalating the stakes between arcs by having increasingly large celestial bodies be at stake. Goku almost always finishing the arc far stronger than when he started it. Almost always the new threat of the last arc gets easily beaten by the biggest threat of the new arc. In OG Dragon Ball, the top tiers were consistently blowing up the moon and threatening the destruction of the entire planet. King Piccolo defeats Roshi, who blew up the moon, only to be surpassed by Goku and Piccolo Jr. In the Saiyan Saga, Raditz and Nappa easily defeat the prior arc's main villain Piccolo,
like it was nothing, bro.
Easily destroy the planet with explosions so large they might be able to blow up any planet regardless of size, or maybe even destroy stars. The Namek arc continued with this trend, Vegeta getting repeatedly beaten down by Frieza and his henchmen as power levels massively escalated hundreds of times over to reach consistently into that star-busting tier, the anime version of the arc potentially concluding with beyond solar system level explosions. Frieza would return only to be instantly cut in half by Trunks,
cut my life into pieces,
powerless against Cell, who could blow away the solar system and threaten the existence of all life in the universe. The Buu arc would further escalate the scale of power, with
this YN
literally one-shotting Dabura, a man who was more powerful than Cell, with the stronger forms of literally one-shotting Dabura, a man who
300 years old, bro. That's crazy work. Damn, Dabura, I know you was that old, my nigga. Shit. You should have had that damn demon eye, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You had that demon eye. You could have put up a fight against this nigga low key. Fat Buu at least. Damn, he probably could have put up a fight against Fat Buu. You feel me? Because that shit got the healing factor for the third eye is crazy work. That shit is potent. Oh my god! Imagine if a Saiyan had the demon eye, bro. You know how many Zenkais a nigga would get? Imagine if Vegeta had that Zenkai. My nigga still getting his ass beat. Unfortunately, bro. But Oh my god.
Was more powerful than Cell, with the stronger forms of Buu easily wielding power that could wipe out the entire living universe and maybe even the realms beyond it.
Mm.
For years, this is where Goku's power set. He
Uh.
was the strongest in the universe, but in a universe that wasn't really progressing.
Yep.
Even with the movies and continuations like Dragon Ball GT, there was no feat, in my opinion, that escalated Goku's power to a new, particularly multiversal tier. He definitely got stronger, but by the time you hit the universal level, to be anything beyond universal requires a beyond infinite increase in power, something that no amount of misinterpreted guidebooks or Super Saiyan 4 multipliers can achieve. Things would change forever, though, with the introduction of Dragon Ball Super. Even before Super
arc
had become the official name, the 2Z films of Battle of Gods and Resurrection F had already hyped up the likes of Beerus and Super Saiyan God as beyond anything that had come before, though they did not offer any impressive feats to actually back up that supposed jump. The Dragon Ball Super
bro.
Anime and manga righted this wrong by clearly stating and showing that Goku and Beerus' punches were going to destroy not only the living universe, but literally everything else in Universe 7,
everything,
including the Demon Realm, the multiple realms of the afterlife, and the Kai World, all of which are separate space-times which are comparable to the universe. This feat is pretty much as blatant as a low multiversal feat can get, but some have argued that this feat is far beyond multiversal, mostly due to several statements about the Otherworld. Some argue that due to these statements, the Otherworld is actually an outer-versal realm that completely transcends dimensional structures based on the description page from the Dazenshu. However, pretty much every capable translation of this page does not imply this in the slightest, saying that the Otherworld is just beyond the dimensions that humans are aware of, and that the gods there can look down at the human world, which makes more sense for how it's literally portrayed and how it functions in the story. It's just another universe. Goku would continue to grow even more over the course of the DBS anime and manga, absorbing his multiversal power into his base, unlocking forms dozens to hundreds of times stronger than Super Saiyan God, while battling increasingly powerful threats. Unfortunately, like I mentioned before, it doesn't really matter how many times Goku multiplies his power or surpasses his full power in his base form, because that would still be in the low multi to multiversal tier. There are a handful of fringe arguments to potentially get Goku higher, so let's cover those now. During the Goku Black arc, probably the most impressive canon feat in all of Dragon Ball occurs. It's just that Goku isn't the one doing it, and it's when Zeno erases future Trunks' timeline.
That nigga air that bit out.
Timelines in Dragon Ball, this would actually be a low complex multiversal feat, or 5D. The only issue is that Goku obviously never scales to Zeno's power, and literally no one in Dragon Ball, Angel, God of Destruction, or otherwise. Now, potentially, you could argue that Zamasu was beginning to reach a similar tier of power, as he was beginning to be felt and appear in the present timeline, but he never actually does anything, and this could have just been a hacks ability gained from becoming a universe. Still, given that Goku completely dwarfs Zamasu's power by the Torment of Power, his own strength should be able to do something similar. This might be supported by a handful of statements from guides describing a character's power as beyond the dimension or superdimensional, which arguably might mean 5D as well, but usually within context, dimensions just means literally alternate dimensions rather than higher mathematical spatial ones. So overall, Goku has been a casual multiverse buster for essentially a decade at this point, and since then he's grown massively stronger to the point where he is almost unrecognizable compared to his former self. But is the Saiyan raised on Earth strong enough to take on Superman? The unfortunate truth is that there is really no amount of good faith interpretation that allows Goku to beat Superman. Superman not only has the benefit of essentially more than twice the history of Goku from a time standpoint, but also benefits from literally thousands of other comic stories that flesh out the absolute gargantuan scale of the DC cosmology that he's not even in. Something a singular guidebook page from a Daizenshu couldn't possibly hope to match. Even supremely lowballing the DC cosmology and treating the 5th and 6th dimensions as literally the mathematical 5th and 6th dimension, even though they're pretty explicitly not, Superman is still able to shatter the 6th dimension, which is an entire dimensional tier over the high-end 5D low complex multiversal Goku. This analysis has only focused on power, but in pretty much every other metric, Superman
that ball flashed up in ball.
Speed feats and consistent speed scaling, Superman blitzes. Hacks abilities, Goku doesn't have anything Superman hasn't seen.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Until like they got God Key, but like I feel like they introduced that shit and they never like did nothing with God Key for Goku and Vegeta, unfortunately. Until they start doing some crazy shit. You know what I mean? And who knows, hopefully when the manga comes back, whenever that shit comes back, Toru, you know what I'm saying? He starts it up. You know what I'm saying? He get them like we start seeing like some DC like Marvel type shit. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see that. Like, oh, what? You could do that? Yeah, that'd be like some shit. Like they got God, like they're gods, but like they don't do godly shit. You know what I mean? That's the thing that's the thing that gripes me about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately.
Before, and the stat difference leaves no opportunity for
Palm
conditional
my
victory.
nigga shit.
Goku might be a more skilled martial artist than Superman, but Superman has come across and even been trained by fighters like Batman, who are even better fighters than Goku is. Now, not being able to beat Superman is not a massive L for Goku or anything.
No, it's not.
Very few characters across all of fiction have a chance against Superman, and that's okay. If you made it this far,
shit. I mean, he ain't gonna beat the nigga, but at least he could hurt him. You know what I mean? Who could say they could hurt Superman? You know what I mean? Not many people can say that.
Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to my members who got to see this video early, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace. But yeah, they need to start like doing some crazy shit in Dragon Ball. You know? Cause we seem like we do get crazy shit in the manga at least. You know? Cause yeah, like you said, like when Battle of Gods came out for the movie, that fight was lackluster. Like I said, I always say this shit. When that nigga became a god, flying through space, child's place. You know what I'm saying? He could fly through space in his base form. You know what I'm saying? Knowing about oxygen, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Beerus and Goku should have been going through fucking planets, all type of shit. That's what they should have been doing. Let alone, you know, this happening too. On top of them destroying the universe with the punches and shit like that. They should be going crazy. That fight should have been stupid to show how crazy they should have been. You know what I mean? Because after that, that's all we've been fighting, like god tier level threats. You know what I mean? It's like they toned it down, scaled back tremendously. Don't let me, bro. Cause I'll do like a whole little side arc of like Goku and Vegeta and Whis train them niggas. It'd be like, hey, y'all know y'all gods, right? Yeah, that's how I do this shit. I know y'all gods, right? But y'all still thinking like mortals, like y'all mortal or something like that. Y'all know y'all could survive in the vacuum. I'll retcon all that shit. Y'all could survive in the vacuum of space too. You know what I mean? Y'all could do some things, man. But anyway, who knows what happened? But anyway, love y'all. Thanks for watching. W video by Lonks, man. W take. No pun intended. No pun intended. You know what I mean? Yeah, he can't be Superman, but yeah. If he put up in DC, like, hey, who this nigga? He could hurt that nigga though. I ain't gonna lie. If Goku punch Superman, he gonna feel them holes. He gonna feel it. He gonna feel it. But yeah. Imagine if Goku was in DC. That'd be crazy. Like, imagine Goku with like the Green Lantern. That nigga will is ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Goku will be a top tier lantern. I ain't gonna lie. That nigga, he has a strong will on me. I don't know. What shit they got DC on? I'm trying to think of, bro. Trying to think. I could just to see. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm yapping. I need to stop yapping. I need to stop doing that. Love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.